that are here with us. You're going to be taking your places very soon. And again, we invite those coming out of church to join us. I think you're going to enjoy this time of walking together. A procession is a symbol of our journey from this world to the Father, to heaven. And so it is a beautiful symbolic expression of our faith. Queria então convidar a todos os que estão aqui a caminharem juntos. Queria fazer um apelo para que todos participassem desta caminhada. Às vezes, fazendo um pouco de sacrifício, nós fazemos uma experiência diferente, uma experiência de Deus de uma forma tão simples. As bandas de música, a primeira será Tracy, depois Livingston e depois de Escalante. Queria pedir aos que vão dirigir a procissão para se prepararem. I would like to invite those who are going to direct the processions to begin to take their place. And so we'll begin in a few minutes, and let us get ready. We have a community here from Southern California. They are from the Chaldean rite, and I believe they're from Syria, right? Chaldean. From Iraq, Baghdad, Iraq, and they will also be participating with us. So we'll be getting ready in just a few minutes. Okay, we're about to begin, and em frente nós temos o Santo Anjo da Guarda de Portugal. Todas as nações têm o anjo encarregado por Deus de as proteger e defender em todos os perigos, de modo que a vida temporal se oriente para a vida eterna e todos possam formar e vir a ser um único povo de Deus. O anjo que aparece em Fátima em 1916 e que disse: orai, orai muito, atraí sobre a vossa pátria a paz. All nations have a guardian angel sent by God to protect and defend from all dangers and lead God's people to holiness and heaven. And so the first statue in front will be the statue of the guardian angel that appeared in Fatima in 1916, saying, pray a lot for peace in the world. And so the feast is celebrated on the 10th of June. And so I ask you to please begin to create that silence. The procession is about to exit the front of the church here. I want to thank the people who worked so hard to make all this decoration in fresh flowers and so beautiful. So again, thank you to all the people. So we're going to vamos criar duas alas. Pedi às pessoas que estão a dirigir a procissão para nos ajudarem a organizar e pedi a desde já o vosso silêncio. I would very much like to ask you for your silence, and this is a public expression of our faith. This beautiful afternoon with the sun already going down over the horizon gives us an opportunity to create a silence within ourselves and around us, a time to meditate and to give thanks to God for this season of summer, for the beautiful nature around us producing so much for our livelihood. And so, obrigado pelo vosso silêncio. Pedi a todos para fazerem um sacrifício, os que podem andar e entrar nesta procissão. I would like to ask all of you to make a sacrifice and to join with us in this 100 years of the message of Fatima. Of course, the idea of sacrifice for reparation is important. And so, please, I ask for your silence. Por favor, o vosso silêncio. Por favor, o vosso silêncio. Por favor, thank you for your silence. Thank you so much. We're going to create this atmosphere of prayer, of respect, silence, prayer within our hearts. A segunda imagem é do princípio da nacionalidade portuguesa, cofundador do Mosteiro de Santa Cruz de Coimbra, São Teotónio. Nasceu no norte de Portugal em 1082. Foi famoso no seu tempo como homem de grande conhecimento, de grande humildade e também grande influência no rei Dom Afonso Henriques. Vida humilde e austeridade, uma grande dedicação aos pobres e enfermos. Hoje nós honramos São Teotónio, que faleceu a 18 de fevereiro de 1162. Muitos prodígios foram operados por intermédio dele quando foi canonizado. So, hoje, the second statue is Saint Teotonio, presbyter. He was the founder of the monastery of Santa Cruz, Coimbra. He was born in 1082 and very well known in the kingdom of the time. A great influence in the government of the time, Dom Afonso Henriques, the first king. And he stayed in a memory of the Portuguese people as someone through whom God worked a lot of miracles, dedicated to preaching, prayer, and service to the people. He died on 18th of February 1162, and his feast is February 18th. So he was canonized immediately after his death, which is quite rare in the church. And so we walked with Santo Antônio que nos mostra o exemplo de uma vida para Deus. I would like to ask for your silence and prayerful meditation on what I'm saying, please. Please walk with us, make this sacrifice and reparation for your own sins and the sins of our nation and of the world, asking for peace as the Lord smiles upon us and our humility as we walk together. And so the band of Tracy is already joining the procession, and behind the statue of Santo Antônio. And the third statue is of St. Anthony of Lisbon. Some say of Padua. He's both. Doctor of the church. He was born in 1191. He's well known throughout the world. He's in so many churches. The image is statue, beloved by nations all over the world. A great evangelizer, challenging for social justice as he cared for everyone. He had a frail health and ended up dying at 36 years of age. And as he died, he cried, "I see my Lord." He died on the 13th of June, 1231. I also chose as the ordination to the priesthood the 13th of June, 1980, in his honor. Okay, I would like to ask the people to my left here to please join us in this procession. Will you have an act of faith that is very simple, just accompanying these great figures of our faith, and aspiring also, you yourself, to be that kind of Christian that walks with the church instead of individually. And as you join in with us as part of God's holy people, journeying through history, queria pois pedir a todos que se associassem, fizéssemos um grande silêncio e um grande respeito. A seguir, nós temos Santa Isabel de Portugal. Nós queremos a Rainha da Paz e da Caridade. Santa Isabel nasceu em Saragossa, ou Barcelona, em Espanha, em 1280. Casou com o rei Dom Dinis, rei de Portugal, ainda jovem. Depois da morte do marido, abandonou o palácio para viver no mosteiro de Santa Clara, em Coimbra, onde está sepultada. Dedicou-se intensamente à oração e às obras de misericórdia. Faleceu a 4 de julho de 1336 em Estremoz. São-lhes atribuídos muitos milagres, como transformar o pão para os pobres em rosas. Maior rainha porque santa e maior santa porque rainha, disse o padre António Vieira, a memória dia 4 de julho. And again, Saint Elizabeth of Portugal, she was actually born in Saragossa, Spain, in 1270. A great leader, married to a Portuguese king. She was great influence for reconciliation in the kingdom. She died on the 4th of July, 1336. She worked God worked many miracles through her already in her life. She was as a queen because she was a saint, but she was also well known as saint because she was a queen. And so we accompany this great saint of ours, and we give thanks to God for her holiness. Again, I continue to ask you to keep silence, to join us devoutly, humbly, walking humbly with our God. Pope Benedict XVI canonized Blessed Nuno de Santa Maria the 29th of March 2009. His memory is celebrated the 6th of November. He was born the 24th of June 1360. Great tactician as a general of Portuguese forces against Castile, but he retired from military life, living a very humble life in a convent in service of others and the poor. He left this marvelous example. To this very day, the Portuguese nation is grateful for Saint Nuno de Santa Maria. Nasceu em 1360, canonizado em 2009. Blessed Saint Nuno de Santa Maria. So thank you for your silence. Thank you for entering with us in this sacred time and sacred place. Thank you for joining us, doing what our directors of the procession tell us to do. St. John of God was a military man who had an enormous conversion and dedicated himself to God's will, seeking for His will. He began to take care of the poor, the mentally ill, whom he treated with much love and patience, initiating a different way of treating the mentally ill in Europe. Born in Portugal, died in Spain, southern Spain. He was born 1495, and so he was St. John of God, beloved by many, founder of a congregation of brothers dedicated to the care of the mentally ill. To this very day, they are in many countries. He was heroic and risked his life many times to save the sick and the poor. He died 1550. So would you walk with St. John of God? Again, I ask you to be humble enough to join with us and to allow these saints to be a challenge, an invitation to you and to me, that we may grow in holiness just as God intends for us. I'd like to thank the Knights of Columbus for being here with their regalia and for their ministry among us. So again, please do not be a bystander, but on the contrary, let us give this common witness to each other and walk humbly with our God. Blessed Beato João Batista Machado, nasceu em Angra do Heroísmo, nos Açores, em 1582, foi jesuíta, ordenou-se em Goa, partiu como missionário para o Japão em 1609, teve de trabalhar na clandestinidade e arriscou a sua vida no Japão para ficar com os cristãos. Foi decapitado em 1617, com outros cerca de 100 cristãos no Japão. Tinha 37 anos de idade. Foi beatificado por Pio IX em 1867. His feast is the 22nd of May. Blessed John was born in Angra in the Azores. He went to India and then was ordained, and then went to Japan, where he decided to stay and take the risk to accompany the Christians in that country. He was martyred in the early 1600s at 37 years of age. So again, we thank you for the Azores band of Escalon for taking their rightful place behind the statue of Our Lady, Thank you for your silence. Obrigado pelo vosso silêncio, pela vossa devoção, pela vossa humildade. Obrigado por partilhar este momento connosco. Uma instituição religiosa da nossa festa deste ano. Truly a beautiful afternoon. Truly a beautiful Sunday in August. Dia especial em que nós, como paróquia, celebramos Nossa Senhora da Assunção, a sua festa. Quão belo é ver uma comunidade em silêncio, na oração, na meditação, refletindo sobre a santidade dos santos, começando com a Virgem Maria, São José, os santos portugueses. It is indeed a heavenly image as we walk together, having in the center of our lives our Lord Jesus Christ in the gospel, living like Mary for Him and for the good news. She was given to us at the foot of the cross by Jesus as our beautiful mother. For that we are eternally grateful. She's with us. She's the most humble creature, God's beautiful creation, the first redeemed by God's Son, her Son also. She's the first to experience the fullness of salvation. Redemption not just of her soul, but also her body, being assumed into heaven, where she calls us. That she's so humble and so low that she also walks with us. God always found in her a yes, a full yes. Is God finding a full yes in my heart, in my will, my intelligence, my memory? Caminhamos com Maria, Nossa Senhora, aquela que disse sim total a cada momento da sua vida inteira. Estando lá na encarnação, na vida pública,